if you could please confirm I'm audible.
Yes, you're audible.
Thank you. So, good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. As we enter week two of this prolific event, the level of excitement and learning has simply surpassed all limits, and we have a lot more coming. I extend a very warm welcome to all the respected faculty members, students, and all the guests who have joined us today. I am Yashodhan, and I will be your host for today's event organized by IEEE VIT. So, before we move to our main event today, I would just want to brief you about IEEE and what we are as a student branch and what we do as a student branch. So IEEE is the world's largest technical organization dedicated in advancing technology for the benefit of humanity over 4 million members. IEEE creates an environment where members collaborate on world-changing technologies from computing and sustainable health systems to aerospace, communications, robotics, healthcare, and many more. IEEE also includes a global network of IEEE members and volunteers dedicated to promoting women engineers and scientists and inspiring girls around the world to follow their academic interests in a career in engineering and science. IEEE was rated one of America's best mid-sized employers in Forbes 2018. IEEE has been certified as a great place to work, and IEEE has received the When Work Works Award in 2016. IEEE is the trusted voice of engineering, computing, and technology around the globe. Now, something about our student branch, like what we are and what we do. So IEEE VIT comes under the Bombay section, and we are dedicated in conducting events matching the interests of the students from various domains. Adding to our accomplishments, IEEE VIT captured the IEEE Regional Exemplary Student Branch Award in 2020. We have two of our most decorated events, that is our flagship events, IRIS, which we are all a part of right now, and Voyager, that is coming up in March. We also conduct many such great events which include competitions, seminars, and IEEE Day, all of which are celebrated with great enthusiasm at IEEE VIT. Now, before moving to IRIS that we are all a part of right now and the main event that we have, I would like to thank our sponsors, Total Sports and Fitness, for their support and association towards IRIS 2021. Now, the event, the main event that we are all a part of right now, IRIS. IRIS stands for Inspire, Resonate, Integrate, and Succeed, which also means to get inspired by the speakers, resonate with their thoughts, integrate them in our souls, and succeed in our lives. A series of inspirational talks resonating powerfully with the audience, integrating their advices and thoughts to work towards the success is here. We have had amazing speakers in the past who shared their experiences, their stories, and inspired the students. IRIS 2020 was a huge success with the speakers stimulated our minds with their inspirational talks. The speakers included the likes of Ms. Iman Jawan, Director of Operations Asia Pacific at Century, Mr. Priyadarshan Jadhav, Marathi actor, director, producer, and screenwriter, Mr. Saurav Bandyopadhyay, racing driver at Volkswagen Motorsport, and Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai, Sardar Patel International Awardee in 2009 for his research and contribution in the field of management and industrial development, and is also the author of the national best-selling book Corporate Chanakya. And now we are here again with yet another series of resonating inspirational talks. So I would now like to introduce you to our speaker. Be the change you want to see in the world. A quote by Mahatma Gandhi, which perfectly describes the speaker today. So join me in welcoming one of India's youngest angel investors, one of the most successful young entrepreneurs who was nominated for the Forbes 30 under 30 and was featured in the Brainfeed's 30 under 30 entrepreneurs of India. He is also an avid traveler, having traveled more than 42 countries, a triathlete, and among the very few people who have completed the Ironman Ultra Triathlon. Before starting his own company, Career Ninja, which is dedicated towards personalized learning and upliftment of aspiring individuals, he taught English in Czech Republic and also did a marketing job in Brazil. He is also a TEDx speaker and a remarkable orator. Ladies and gentlemen, the man of the moment, Mr. Shonit Ladhani. So I would extend a very warm welcome to you, sir. It's an absolute pleasure to have you for this event, and we have all been excitedly waiting for this moment, and we are all eager to hear from you. So without any further delay, and I would want to start this main event, so I would request Mr. Shonit to take it ahead from here. Please, sir. No, sir, you're not audible, sir.
Is this better?
Yeah, you're audible, sir.
Awesome. So, okay, I just probably spoke for 30 seconds to myself then. Thanks for the lovely introduction, Yashodan. These things sound super fancy and cool, but there's a long way to go. I think I'm just as young as any of you, and I'm as much of a student in my head as any of you guys. Um, just quickly, tech check. Am I visible clearly? Am I audible clearly?
Yes, sir, you're visible and audible, sir. Yeah.
Awesome. Super excited to be here. Guys, feel free to participate via the chat. You all can reply, respond. I am not a teacher. I have been on the other side. I've sat in classrooms, bunked lectures. So I don't want the treatment that teachers get. I'm here to basically have a chat with you guys and help you achieve your sort of goals and be successful in life and sort of maybe help with my own journeys and my own learnings to some extent. So would love to sort of make it an interactive session as much as possible virtually. So use the chat option. I don't know if maybe you all can raise your hand and we can see if we all can go on audio as well and ask questions if you all want at any point. Sounds good. If it sounds good, you can just say sounds good or say okay in the chat so that I know everyone's there alive and listening to me. Thanks, Manish. Great. So, before I dive in, and I had a couple of things I'd love to sort of share with you guys and talk about my journey. I would love to hear what y'all also would, want to learn from me, from my time here. This next 45 minutes, an hour is completely dedicated to all of you. And, I'm super excited to be here. Thanks for inviting me over. So whatever you all have in your mind could be about entrepreneurship, could be about traveling, could be about investing in startups, could be about education, engineering, whatever it is. I'd love to sort of have you all throw in your questions in the chat of the meeting, and I'll sort of try to cover it as much as possible in my chat. Awesome. So feel free to keep putting it in the chat box. Don't wait till the end. I will anyway, and I'll try to incorporate it. Right. So what I'm here to talk to you all about is sort of a version of my TED talk. That's what was requested out of my interaction here today, which is how do you become a top 1% talent? How do you become, or how do you learn for success, right? So ever since we were kids, parents have been telling you learn for good marks, learn because tuition teacher, nahi to tuition laga dunga, nahi to learn because I'll buy you whatever. At least when I was young, your PlayStation or your Game Boys, and or maybe now it's phones, whatever it is. Or they would say नहीं future के लिए अच्छा है पढ़ लो, future admission मिलेगा, अच्छी college में जाने मिलेगा पढ़ लो, right? That's what we've been hearing ever since we were kids. But ultimately, why do you learn, right? You learn to be successful. You want to be successful in life, and I'd like to sort of touch upon how do you learn for success and what should you do for that. Sounds interesting. Would you all, by the way, Yashodan, or if the audience wants to sort of vote, would you all prefer a presentation alongside while I chat, or would you prefer me talking, just with video and face to face? Some visuals for presentation, anything, Yashodan? How do you prefer this?
Yes, sir. Anything will do, sir, as per your preference.
Okay, I'll just probably click a share on as well then. Let me just. Zoom is not okay. Just give me 1 second. I'm trying to share my screen. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's visible.
Visible?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. So, as I said, I'd love to chat with you all about how to build, uh, a great, successful sort of life via learning. And as I said, we've been always told marks मिलेंगे उससे success हो जाएगा. Actually, ऐसे होता नहीं है. So, my journey started similar to yours. 2008 is when I got out of school. 2008 to 10, I went to Sathe College. I was prepping for the engineering entrances, just like a lot of y'all here. Gave the Maharashtra CET, ended up topping it. And when I topped it and came first, everyone was like, VJTI jao aur life ban jayegi. So तब तो ज़्यादा पता नहीं था. Everyone said go to VJTI, do engineering. कर लिया, went to VJTI. But I realized just 1 year in कि इससे life बननी नहीं है. Whatever I'm learning is probably 10-20 years old at best. If not more. And how is this going to help me in my life is what I remember thinking. I'd taken up civil engineering and, I'd gone to a construction site, I remember, for an internship. And there was this laborer over there who, came up to me and said कि साहब आप जो कर रहे हो ये आपके एग्जाम के लिए अच्छा है, कॉलेज के लिए अच्छा है, पर इधर मैं आपको सिखाऊंगा. And I was like, if this guy is going to teach me, then what am I doing in college for 4 years, right? So that's when I realized that there is a problem here. What I'm learning in college is okay for my marks, okay, for higher studies and my masters and MBA and ये वो, but वो help कैसे करेगा life में, right? So that's when I set upon a very, it basically shook me. That I remember spending a week or two thinking, drop out करना चाहिए, क्या करना चाहिए life में then, right? And I had no clue. I had no one to sort of guide me or tell me, okay, this is what you should then do. So what I'm going to share is sort of how I went about this journey, how you guys could go about this journey to not get where I am, probably get 100 steps further than where I am. I'm also, I believe, in the start of my journey. But the key point here is that you have to take ownership. You can't rely on college to help you be successful. Right? That's my first pointer. If probably any pointer you want to take up from the first half of this chat is this, right? You can't rely on your tuition teachers, your college, your parents for you to be successful. College ne theka nahi liya hai to give you a job. And job is not even success. It's probably the start of it. You have to take matters in your own hands, right? College isn't going to help you there because honestly, higher education is failing. It's not doing anymore what it was supposed to do. It doesn't help you get to the right image. It probably makes you feel more like the guy on the left, right? How many of you guys have felt ऐसा चेहरा कितने लोगों ने बनाया while in college based on your experience? Just put in the chat box. Would love to hear. You all can of course relate to each other. Right? क्या रहा है मेरी life में? What do I do? KT लग गई, whatever. Right? So it's more of that ends up happening because very simply put, we just went to college, right? We went to college because we want a job and because it's the default thing to do. No one really thought of why should I go to college, why I shouldn't go to college. And सबने सोचा वहाँ जाएंगे, job लग जाएगी, career बन जाएगा. But the reality is different. Right? This is more the reality of the country. 80%, 90%, 70%, stats may differ, but engineers and graduates are deemed unemployable simply because what we are learning in college is not relevant. And what we are learning in college is ultimately just hard skills, right? We're not learning how to give talks like this. We're not learning how to network. We're not learning how to, land new clients, do a great interview, all of that. We're not learning what's happening next in the world, right? College is not teaching us the next biggest thing of AI or data science or whatever. College is teaching us C++, and probably ending at JavaScript. Right? I don't even know if college teaches JavaScript, but that's how behind times it is, right? So we can't rely on college to sort of help us get to our goals. We have to rely on ourselves, right? We have to build our own learning, and we have to build our own learning to be successful, and that's what this is all about. Is everyone on the same page till now? Just gonna quickly take a look at the chat box. Sounds relatable. Everyone on the same page. Awesome. Okay. Continue. So here's how you design your own education, right? First is you've got to have your own goal. You've got to have a goal to achieve that goal. अगर goal नहीं है तो कुछ होगा नहीं, because you just sort of keep going ahead in life and reach somewhere. But that's pretty much it. It's like running up and down a football field and you don't know where to score, right? Goal नहीं है. So first thing you need to know is, what do I want to do? What do I want to become? What is my idea of success? Is my idea of success sitting on an island with a dog and just working virtually? Is my idea of success, being among super important people, managing their money, being all suited up? Or is my idea of success just, having a lot of free time, just some work which helps me sustain my life? Right? I realized, very early on, I want to be an entrepreneur. I am Marwadi. I come from a business family, so sort of I think business is in my blood. But I basically knew I want to be an entrepreneur, but I didn't know how or in what field or when and so on. Right? I went to college, realized कि college में कुछ सिखाया नहीं, and तब mind में आया कि this system isn't working well. I probably would like to do something about this, and that became my calling. And then I channeled my entrepreneurial goal into helping to solve this higher education learning problem. And it's very common not to know what you actually want to be or do or have a goal while you're in college, right? जब मैं college में था, मेरे पास ऐसे clear goal नहीं था. Actually, मेरा goal था कि नहीं, मैं construction में कुछ buildings बनाऊंगा. Then my goal was नहीं, I love traveling, so I will start a hostel chain or start camping and so on. But now, over the years, I realized that I enjoy helping people, growing. I enjoy helping people learn and getting there to their goal, and that's basically what I sort of built my organization around. Right? So, if you don't know what you want to do and if you don't have a goal, what I would suggest to any of you is to explore. Right? Experiment with things, especially when you're in your early 20s, especially when you're in college, right? College is like a lab. You're safe from the rest of the world. You can try anything and everything, whether it's partying and chilling and hanging out with friends, which also you should do. But it's also what do I like? Do 5 internships. See what HR is like, see what marketing is like, see what sales is like, and explore, take up a few courses, talk to people from every different, stream, attend sessions like these. Just explore and understand what gets your heart pumping, right? What excites you? Because that is very important. Until you don't find what excites you, you will not be driven to work hard. Right? And if you won't be driven to work hard, whatever you do, you won't be great at it. Right? बात बहुत simple है, but people don't follow this. Right? Like I come from a business family, as I said, and लोग बोलते थे, family used to be like, अगर existing family business है तो ये क्यों करना है, right? Why do you want to start from scratch? पूरी इतनी मेहनत, all of that. So it was more about, ये मेरे लिए काम नहीं है. I enjoy doing this, right? It excites me every single day when I walk into office, when I meet someone, I have to solve a challenge. It's part of the fun, excitement, and passion. Right? I wake up every morning excited. So that's what I think everyone should find first. Because if you're that excited, you spend 12, 14 hours a day working at it for 5 years, you're going to become good at it. Right? It's not possible you won't be. So experiment. For example, if you want to experiment with, I'm doing computer science and I don't know which field I want to get into. Right? Read up on AI, read up on ML, read up on data science, do internships there, reach out to people on LinkedIn, ask them what you do, ask them to sort of give you an idea of what their day looks like. Try out some of those things by taking up courses and so on. If you have friends and family doing these things, then probably try to go to their office, or right now work from home है तो उनके घर पे जाके बैठ के देख लो कि क्या हो रहा है, right? Make use of these things. But I would say if you could do anything during your time in college, I would say this is it, right? Experiment and explore so that you can put down a goal, right? Now, once you have a goal, whether it's entrepreneurship, whether it's I want to be a travel blogger, whether it's I want to let's say be the next Elon Musk, you need to figure what skills and abilities you need for that. ये करने के लिए क्या आना चाहिए? Like I want to run a company and I knew I had to know how to communicate and lead. Right? Let's say, for example, public speaking while I'm talking to you all is one particular area which I needed to know if I want to be an entrepreneur. And I was not there at all when I was in college. Actually, when I was in school, I used to be shy to talk to more than 3 people. Right? I remember school trips अच्छी नहीं लगती थी. I would skip every second school trip. I would not hang out in school after school gets over because I wasn't confident about speaking in front of people. I was probably shy. I was an introvert. I'm yet an introvert, but I didn't have the confidence. And college में थोड़ा वो improve हुआ, and ultimately it improved when I joined this organization called ISEC. I don't know if any of you have heard about it. It's one of the world's largest youth-run organizations. Sends people abroad for internships, bring people abroad to work in companies here. I joined ISEC and I went for this one conference where there were some 200, 300 people from across South and West India. Everything from Pune to Visakhapatnam. And half of these guys were super excited, super confident. There are these sessions happening and great speakers speaking and everyone's putting their hands up and answering questions. And I was just in awe. I was like, I want to be like this speaker. I want to be able to stand here and give a talk to people without any preparation, without any paper in my hand, and be able to get their attention the way this guy is being able to do. And I was just like, itna kar lunga main in the next 2 years to life ban jayegi. Right? Because I used to be that underconfident and shy. And I was like, let's not start from next time. Mind mein hota hai ki chalo next time I will do this, or next time I will put my hand up, or I will talk, or I will do something. So I was like, nahi, aaj se start karna hai. And I challenged myself ki today you will answer one question. You will put your hand up and you will stand and you will answer one question amongst these 300, 400 people. And that's exactly what I did. Someone asked a question and I was obviously yet not confident, so I put my hand up like this. Right? I was yet hoping wo mujhe dekhega nahi, so I can yet prove to myself, I put my hand up, but usne nahi dekha. Right, and I'm sure a lot of you can relate again at school maybe or college maybe someone asks a question thoda aise karte hain. You know the answer but you're not confident about it. That guy saw me. I was like, shit, dekh liya. He's like, okay, go ahead, and he's like, he could see I was a little nervous. He was like, I won't eat you out. Right, मतलब ठीक है, answer ये है कि question ये है, I won't eat you up. कुछ गलत हुआ तो ठीक है, big deal. And the next day I put my hand up and answered again, and then I put my hand up straight up and answered, and it just became a habit. Then I went on to work in teams of 5 people, went on to become a leader, work with a team of 20 people, went on to lead ISEC and work with a team of 200 people. And I used to enter and give talks like these every 2 weeks, and that's how it just became a habit. So now I'm just comfortable. I'm yet an introvert. I'm not shy. I'm more confident. Right, and this happens only if you do things to build skills. You will do it again and again and again. So to identify which skill are you missing. If you want to be a travel blogger, right, if you're missing the skill of photography or you're missing the skill of great social media, then you need to build those skills. Get a camera and go out there and click great pictures. do it again and again and again, get feedback from a friend who does that, learn online, enough content is available on YouTube or any other platform कि अच्छा picture लेते कैसे हैं, or how do I write great content, or so on, right? If you want to be an entrepreneur, what you need to do is shadow people who are entrepreneurs, right? So reach out to someone like me or even bigger and tell them, hey, can I just sort of follow you around for 1 week? You don't need to pay me. उसके बाद अगर आपको मेरे skills अच्छे लगे तो आप देख लेना. But can I just observe what you're doing and learn from what you're doing? Right? These are the kind of things you need to do to develop your skills. And I gave this example in the past before of this guy who went to Harvard Business School, and he came back and he reached out to Anand Mahindra saying, I want to work with you. Now, Anand Mahindra said, you came from HBS, I can't afford you, right? A Harvard graduate earns probably 70 lakhs a year or a crore a year or whatever salary, I can't afford you. So उससे बोला, okay, what's the max you can pay? So Anand Mahindra was like, I can pay you max as much as your last salary. Right? Or the guy said, okay, minimum I will accept is as much as my last salary pre my Harvard's MBA. So he was like, take it done. He started working with Mahindra. He's worked with him as his executive assistant for 2 years, right? Imagine MBA guy, Harvard Business School, best college in the world, working as an executive assistant at a pay 1/4 of maybe what his pay could have been. 2 years later, he moved on to straight being the COO of Mahindra Rural Finance or Mahindra Housing Finance, one of those. And I've spoken to him personally, and that's why I know the story, right? So that's what you need to focus on, not optimizing for कहाँ से मुझे internship में पैसा ज़्यादा मिलेगा, कहाँ से मेरी पहली नौकरी में salary ज़्यादा होगी, but what area is going to help you learn the most, right? And small teams, early stage startups, 20 people, 30 people at max where you get real work is what helps you learn the most. If you talk about work, otherwise online courses, shadowing people, conferences, things like that, right? So that's how you got to build skills. Once you build skills, then that's not where it ends, right? Most people think वहाँ पे खत्म हो गया. मैंने goal decide किया, मैंने course complete किया, I have the skills, now I will win this world. It doesn't work like this. You finish the skills and you have the skills. How does anyone else know you have the skills? Right? And how do you get that message to people? So for that, you have to build your network. Right? You need a network of people who want to hire you or want to give you work if you're a freelancer or want to give you business if you run a business, or of people you want to hire if you run a business, and so on, so on. You need a large network. What I did was I knew I want to be an entrepreneur, right? But I knew I want to be a new age entrepreneur. I don't want to do, old age businesses, brick and mortar businesses. I want to run a startup of the tech world. And I come from a non-tech engineering background, right? I did civil engineering. I don't know why, sab pata nahi tha, but I did civil engineering. So for me, it was like, okay, I need to break into this startup world. And this is a story I probably haven't shared before, I don't know. So what I did is I said I want to be on the investment side so I can see probably 10, 20 startups and see how they succeed, how they fail, कैसे पैसा raise करते हैं, investment कैसे लाते हैं, and which idea is good, how to figure that out, and so on. Right? So I went on to sort of work with an incubator, set up that incubator for this company, and did that across about 4 or 5 different countries. And ultimately, I went on to deciding कि नहीं मुझे BC में काम करना है. I want to work with an investor. And then I reached out to a bunch of investors. I said, LinkedIn पे network किया, offline events पे network किया, Tycon करके के event होते हैं वहाँ पे किया. And everyone said, no, sorry, this was 2014 or 2015. It was early days of the startup world in India. So, and everyone like, no, sorry, आपके पास CFA नहीं है, or you don't have an MBA, so we need someone with at least these qualifications to, hire, right? And they were not even ready to give me an internship. I was like, free mein de do, pehle de to do, then I'll prove you with my work. So then I met some like-minded people who all wanted to start investing in startups. They all ran their own businesses. And I pitched to them, कि सब काम मैं करता हूँ, you know, all pitches लाना, all the donkey work I will do. Let's all partner. We'll be equal partners. I don't have as much money as you guys. You all put in more money, and you know, probably let's make a small fund, right? And that worked out, and that's how we started Taiki Capital Partners, right? And went on to be one of the youngest angel investors, which honestly doesn't matter. But for me, it was, you know, I went on to sort of get an insight on how do you decide which startup's going to make it. How do you think of, you know, all the 20 parameters about team, about business model, about how big is the market, and get in. And finally, I ended up making a network of startups who today help me because they're 5 years ahead of me in the journey of how to hire, how to scale, what happens when things go wrong. I have a network of investors who some of them have put money in my startup now. And that happened just because I put that much effort in building my network, right? I was like, wo 1-2 saal network banane and learning ke liye hi kaam karna hai. No matter whatever you earn, right? Treat it like it's an extended part of college. Ideally, do it parallel to college, right? I get that not everyone has that freedom, but while you're in college, you don't have a pressure to earn. Right, so do it while you're in college if you can. Build your network with your friends. All the friends around you are going to go and work in 20 different places. Your teachers, your employers, everything. Right, and ultimately, once you have a network, you got to show the network that you have great skills. You've got to show them that what you're saying you can do, you actually can do. Right, and how do you do this? So this is something called signaling, right? Let's say, you know, log IITians ko kyun hire karte hain at huge pays or IIM guys ko? Because they signal that I was smart enough to get into this college. That means I'm probably smart enough to get hired and do well at work, right? And when companies see thousands of colleges, they don't know how to figure out which guy is great, right? Because none of them have worked. So they just think the guy who got here is good. But this used to be the old way of doing this. Today, how do people hire? People go on LinkedIn and see who has a great brand, who's talking about what. You want to get into electric vehicles, start blogging about it on LinkedIn every day, right? Write about the equipment, the charging, the infrastructure in India that is needed. Show that you have real knowledge. Someone will notice you and you will get a hiring request inbound. How do I hire today? I go on LinkedIn and see who's there, what are they doing, what are they talking about. If they're writing blog posts, if they're making videos, are they making sense? I go and see their portfolios if they make sense. So you've got to demonstrate skills. If you want to be a writer, you need to make a great blog. You don't need anything in today's world to make a great blog. You just need to go on Medium or you need to go on Instagram and just make a great blog, right? You need to have good content. You need to have good skill, which you solved before, and then you need to demonstrate it. If you get great content, if you get it published in your story, or if you get it published in Forbes, right? If you're that great, how will you not get a job? Or how will you forget? It's not even about getting a job, right? How will you not get a great job, right? Which is where success starts. It doesn't start with just getting a job, right? Most of you here will get a job if you're driven enough and interested enough to spend your Saturday afternoon listening to this talk. जॉब मिल जाएगी, कितने की मिलेगी, वहां कौन सी कंपनी में मिलेगी, उसके बाद क्या, that's the key question which you should focus on. Not optimizing for 10% better salary today at a 5 lakh rupee, you know, base salary, but optimizing for a 20% better salary 5 years down when it's 30 lakhs, right? 3 lakh का फर्क पड़ता है versus 50,000 today. So, you know, you've got to build your personal brand. You've got to reach out to people who work in that industry saying, give me feedback. This is how I made my portfolio, or this is the software I made as a project. Can you tell me what is wrong here? Can you give me feedback on the user interface and so on, right? If you have specific questions about how to do this for your particular domain you're interested in, put it in the chat right now and I'll come back to it. But कोई भी domain के लिए ये हो सकता है. Skills सिग्नल करना, and I'm not talking about CV. CV से कुछ नहीं होता, सबके पास CV होती है. right? But CV में क्या जाता है, CV and beyond CV, what do you have to show us this, right? If you're saying you're a web developer, the least you need to do is make your own website which looks good, right? That's demonstrating skills. So, and I get all of this is not easy to do, I mean, but just before we get there, yeah, this is a quick summary. Again, quick check-in if y'all are following me here. Any questions, please put it down in the chat. I'm audible. Everyone's following till now. Can you all just put a quick okay? I'm very not used to doing, Teams and Zoom chats. I prefer in-person interaction, right? ये one way लगता है screen से बात कर रहा हूँ. Awesome, great. Everyone's there. No one's sleepy. Appreciate this. So yeah, quick summary. How do you design your own education? You have a career goal, and education for success. Have we talking about have a career goal or have a life goal, right? My goal, to be honest, where I want to see myself, and I again sharing this probably for the first time. 10 years down, I want to see myself running a startup which makes a difference in people's careers, running a small, fund or let's say people incubator where the people who are the most passionate, right? I want to dedicate scholarships to those guys, right? There are enough scholarships for people who score great marks, who are coming from different categories. I want to support the passionate category, right? Just life में कुछ करना है, शायद पता नहीं कैसे, and probably doesn't have the resources to, because अगर you are driven हो जाएगा बाकी सब, right? And that's something I want to build. In my head, I call it a people incubator, and set up a small fund or scholarship sort of for these people. And I love the sea, and I love surfing. So I would love to live by the sea with a nice small family, probably with a dog, and that's my idea of success. Let's say 10 years down, right, where I'm just happy doing this. I can take time off to sort of play with the kids and so on, right? It's not Lamborghini चाहिए, helicopter में इधर जाऊंगा and all of के जाऊंगा, but उसके बाद fulfillment is ultimately internal, right? And I have this clear goal, and I would want to live on the outskirts of Bombay, right? That's where the sea is nicer. So that's my goal, right? And then I'm trying to be an entrepreneur to get there, build the wealth, helping people achieve their careers. Ultimately, probably will build a scholarship inside what we do today itself, and that's how it all sort of fits in, right? And to do that, I'm developing skills every single day. I spend probably half an hour a day. I would love to spend an hour a day reading or watching videos, and just interacting with other people in the space, always building a network. I would love to network with you guys as well. Just ping me on LinkedIn or Instagram, all good, and I'll come back to that again towards the end of this. But, network is everywhere. You don't have to want to just connect with the CEO. One of you guys are also going to be CEOs in the future, or, great product managers or whatever in the future, right? So yeah, and how do I demonstrate in Signal? By giving talks like this, by writing about my experiences and so on. Right? So that's how you design your own education for success, and that's a work in progress always. It doesn't end. It just starts, and for me, it started with these are some of my school pictures, just to point out that I was just the same guy, 15 years back as well, and just yet in school, right? This keeps reminding me that you're yet in school, you're yet always learning. So yeah, the note I'm gonna sort of end this talk on, not ending this, but at least this presentation on is, see, ultimately learning for success, or forget learning for success. Success depends on one main thing, and that is action. Right? आपने ये talk सुन ली, मैंने ज्ञान दे दिया, सुन लिया, inspired हो गए, and it'll be like, oh, tomorrow I'm going to do this. कल करूँगा यार, Sunday यार, चल holiday, Monday से, and then something else turns up and so on. right? It's very easy to procrastinate. It's very easy to be complacent. And if you're happy being complacent, then great, right? Probably not the right person talking to you. But if you really want to be successful, it starts with a mindset of taking action. If you decided you want to learn one thing, I saw in the chat someone said relatable, even I'm shy and I'm not confident about talking. I'm glad you have put it in the chat, right? That's one big step. Now go a step ahead and ask a question over there, and answer to someone else's question, and then do it in person, right? That's how it starts. So you have to take action every single day in what you want to improve. So before you think of questions, you need to think of what do I want to do after this talk. Okay, idea आया, मेरे को ये सीखना है, और I want to do this as the next step, or I'm going to apply for an internship next, or I'm going to reach out to Shranit on LinkedIn and say if he has internships for me, if I can shadow him. Decide what is that next step and take action. That's the most important part. उसके बिना कुछ नहीं होता है. And you have to take action every day, especially on the days you feel low and bad. On good days, everyone can work. How many of you can work on bad days? And how many of you can be like, I have a headache and I'm super sad and मेरा breakup हो गया पर कल exam है कि कल job है तो मैं काम पे जाऊंगा and I'm going to do great at it, right? That's the mindset you need to have, because either you go with the flow or you decide your flow of life, right? Like either life happens to you, right? Or you make life happen, you direct the life. Right? That's what you got to do if you want to get somewhere. If you have a goal, you have to run towards that goal and you can't stop. And you have to keep running towards that goal. Right? You can take a rest, you can take a pause, but you can't stop. Right? That's the note I'm going to pause this on. I would love to have questions coming in. I'm just going to pause this presentation. And sorry, my video went off. I didn't realize this. Okay, would love to take questions, and I'm gonna share my contact details at the end of this in terms of my email, my LinkedIn, and so on. Don't worry about that. But I want to hear what's on your mind. I want to answer your questions. जो एक चीज मुझे आपको you want to ask me now, right? And I will want to answer, because I think we have time, right? We have 5 minutes, Yashodan.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was just going to come in, and I was just going to read out those questions to whoever would put those questions in there. So can we start with the question answer session, if you say?
Yeah, definitely. Unless you want me to stress on something, if guys, something about me, if you want to know more about, if you want to know how I travel, I've literally backpacked across these 40 plus countries. I've lived with locals. I've lived inside the Amazon jungle, and been बहुत कम पैसे खर्च करके, मैं भी student था तब, literally learned how to cook my own food and make friends and all of that, and that's how I overcame my skills, right? That's why I love traveling, or whatever else would love to answer. So yes, Yashodan, you have specific questions yourself which you want to start with, or would you want me to start with the questions?
Yes, sir.
in
I
the
wanted
chat?
to, yes, sir. I'll go ahead with those questions. Before that, actually, there was a point when I was just preparing the speech, and I was just kind of researching about you, so what to mention and what not to mention. So I got this question that you being an entrepreneur, and you started that journey, and then you went on. So in between that, when you completed the Ironman Ultra Triathlon, how was that experience? Like, I believe it's a pretty big deal to complete. I mean, swimming and cycling and running. How was that experience?
Yeah. So to be honest, see, so for me, I like taking challenges in life, right? I feel life is an adventure. I mean, everyone may not agree. I feel life is an adventure. Ultimately, you just take your experiences with you, right? You're learning in your experiences. बाकी सब छोड़ के जाओगे. तो थोड़ा unique होना चाहिए in terms of as an experience. So I like taking up challenges. So I have asthma. I have an issue in my knees which prevents me from running beyond 20-30 minutes. So I was like, mental challenges बहुत कर लिए, top कर लिया, startup तो है ही, but let's do a physical one, right? That's something I've never been good at. So that's when the Ironman came about. I was like running तो मैं कर नहीं सकता, marathon में कर नहीं सकता, तो triathlon करते हैं, swimming मेरी अच्छी है. And then I thought I'll do an Olympic triathlon or a sprint triathlon. Sprint triathlons are maybe 500 meters of swimming, 5 kilometers of running, 10 kilometers of cycling. ऐसा कुछ है, I don't remember exactly. So that's what my goal was. But again, then my coach, someone who was guiding me, was like, "Kar raha hai to why not try for the biggest thing? नहीं होगा तो नहीं होगा. At least you will be more fit." I was like, "ठीक है, logic ठीक है, कर लेते हैं." So I started training. Ended up training. I used to train 2 hours a day on an average, 25 hours a week. Yoga, meditation. Cycling, swimming, running. Sundays I used to cycle literally from Bombay to Lonavala. I cycled from Bombay to Nasik. This was my practice for the Ironman, and it was great. It reminded me that ultimately all our mind blocks and challenges are yours, right? Your body is actually capable of a lot more. Imagine October ki garmi mein, the guy who has asthma is cycling from Thane to Igatpuri, and halfway back. So it is possible, right? The block is in the mind. We think we're tired. We think we're not capable of, and so on. So it was a great reminder of that. The experience was great. I was 2 out of 2,500, 2 Indians out of 2,500 plus, athletes over there completed it. It's despite having a small accident in the middle. So I would love to do that again sometime. I don't know when because of the work, but yes.
It's great, sir. I just love your approach and clarity of your thoughts. That's so cool. Anyway, we'll just move ahead with the first question asked by Dhun. And the question says, building a network on LinkedIn or with people from diverse backgrounds is necessary in today's world. So what is your advice to the ones who are not able to break the ice and start a conversation?
On LinkedIn, बहुत easy है यार. Copy paste कर लो कहीं से template, how to reach out to people and send a message. Right? Just ping me, I will give you all a template, right? Just get started. Just say, hey, I'm this and this. Again, be very clear of what you want from them. See, if you're going to send me a LinkedIn request tomorrow or today, and if you don't put a message, I get at least 20, 30 a day. Right? And that's just me. I'm no one great. I'm sure the bigger guys get a lot more. You have to drop a message. This is who I am. This is what I want from you. And this is why you should pay attention to me, right? मैं genuine बंदा हूँ. मुझे आपकी help चाहिए. And most people are nice enough to do that. I've spoken to the Asia Pacific head of LinkedIn on LinkedIn, right? When I was in ISEC, not when I was an entrepreneur, not when I was an angel investor, 30 under 30, कुछ नहीं हुआ था. Right? मैं student था. Most people will be happy to chat with you, but you got to be clear and be very efficient with their time. They don't have so much time. That's it. And start LinkedIn में तो no one's even going to look at you, right? Worst thing what's going to happen. Accept नहीं करेंगे, right? कि आप message को reply नहीं करेंगे और block कर देंगे, right? थोड़ी कोई face पे आके कुछ फेंका है कि चाटा मारा है. तो it's as simple as that.
Thank you for the answer, sir. So we'll move ahead with the next question. So the question asked from Gauri, and the question says, how to overcome shyness and become confident?
Cool. I'll come to this. Ramya has asked a question, why waste money over college fees, right? I think that was much before. Okay. Honestly, I'll tell you what, you don't need college for work in today's day, at least if you want to work at a startup or if you want to work in a bunch of, let's say, new age companies. College is just like a safety net in today's day ki degree mil gayi. That's why I didn't drop out, at least, right? Ki degree mil gayi, so at least future mein kuch karna ho, so you won't not get it because of it, the degree. But to be honest, going to college is not necessary. Google, Microsoft, EY, a lot of them have dropped the requirement of a degree. And more people will. I don't look at it. When people sign up for Career Ninja courses, we don't look at it. It's ultimately your skills, but college nahi gaye aur ghar pe time pass kiya, रोज Starbucks में बैठे कि whatever you know and new movies देख रहे तो it's not gonna help you. College नहीं गए and 3 साल freelancing किया ना, you will be 5 years ahead of everyone else who went to college. Right? So it depends on what you do, but otherwise it's a safety net. Right? So I won't say don't go to college necessarily. That's your choice, but do something along with college. Okay. What was the next question?
Yes, sir. Yes. So it's a question
How to
from
overcome
Gauri,
shyness.
How to overcome shyness? Yes. Sir.
How to overcome shyness? I told you how I did it. I basically participated in things like this, and start speaking in class and so on. There are different things. You can start creating videos and share about of any new information every day. 30 seconds with Gauri every week. Right, where one new thing we get to learn from you, get over that shyness in front of the camera. Or there are clubs like Toastmasters where you learn to speak impromptu I think it's impromptu, I don't remember, but you learn to do that on a topic, or there's debates. There's Model United Nations, right? I remember in college I did months, which was my first try at trying to speak out. So it's basically you just need to speak. How to overcome shyness and become confident? Just start speaking. You'll get there over time, but don't stop. That's it.
Yes, sir. So the next question is from Rohan. Says, sir, I want to know what would you choose? A job in a field you don't like, giving your very handsome salary, or a work in a field you do love, but with a low salary? Sir, do explain your opinions so most of our misconceptions are cleared.
See, I'm not one of those gurus who are going to be like, do only what you love and nothing else and वो सब हाँ मतलब थोड़ा practical बनना पड़ता है life में, right? Now I would say first it depends on what your scenario is. If you don't make that additional money between a normal salary and that handsome salary, what is it going to impact in your life? Is it going to affect that you can't buy that next iPhone and उसकी जगह OnePlus खरीदना पड़ेगा कि wireless earphones नहीं मिलेंगे? Then big deal, right? I borrowed these wireless earphones. I don't own one yet, right? So or is it that okay, then your family depends on you and you need that money, or your sister wants to learn and go to college and you need that money, right? Then you got to be a little practical. Take what gives you that money in a field that you may not like as much. If it's a life decision which depends on it, right? It's going to make 5 years later, it's going to make a real impact in your life. Ask yourself the 5-year question, right? 5 years later, if I did this, it's going to make a difference. If it says नहीं यार 5 साल में कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा, कम salary आएगा तो then I would say just shut your eyes and do what you're passionate about. Right? Build skills, and then work hard. Right? Build your skills, do what you love, follow that for a couple of years, see how much better you become, and you can build a niche. Today there are niches in just animation. There's niches in I don't even know. Just setting up a blog for people, right? Forget digital marketing as a whole. Forget content marketing as a whole. Just setting up someone's Instagram page, or just setting up, making doodling is a niche, right? People pay people to make a nice doodle for them to give as a gift. No parent is going to say उसमें career बनने वाला है, but career बनता है. You got to be great at it. And how do you become great at it? If you got to be that dedicated to it, right? You have to have. So what I use as a concept is something very practical. There's this thing called ikigai. Okay, it means in Japanese your reason to live. Your ikigai is the intersection of 4 things: what you love, right? And you guys can note it down and or search about this later or ping me. What you love, what you're good at, right? 2 different things. What you can be paid for, and what the world needs, right? And this world needs is very important if you want to make great money long term. If the world doesn't need learning, I may enjoy being passionate about guiding you guys, I may be good at it, I can make some money by doing these speaking sessions, which I don't. But if the world doesn't need it, ultimately, मैं कितना पैसा बनाऊंगा, right? Limit आता है. So if you want to look at scope, look at the world needs, look at what you're good at, look at what your skills for, paisa automatically aa jayega, is my approach. Hope that helps with the misconception. If you have a follow-up question, put it down in the chat, Rohan. I'll move to Yash's question. If ISEC didn't exist, what would have been your challenges, especially for building leadership skills? Huge. I don't think I would have been running this company today, to be very honest. I yet don't think I'm the best leader. Definitely not the best, actually. I don't think. I think I'm a decentish leader. My team will have a better idea, and I yet make a bunch of leadership mistakes, right? Everyone does. तो उसके बिना तो और भी खराब होता है, is all I can say. So yeah, and I think it's been a great experience. Anyone, right? Forget ISEC. Join your college communities, college fests, whatever. Take leadership roles, right? Like that, right? Yashodhan's on camera right now talking with me. He's building new skills, right? And so that's the kind of stuff you can always do. But challenge kafi hota. I would have been fumbling with managing team, and how do you get them to report to you, and all of these basic things, which at least today I don't need to worry about. How do you think your education system can improve? Well, it needs to be practical and updated, very simply put, right? College should be this is your project, 4 साल के 1 साल at least, ये पूरे 6 months में कि ये साल में ये project पे काम करना है, उसके लिए ये तुम्हारा reference material है. Your faculty is available for doubt solving, and let's work on this, right? We don't need a teacher to come and open a textbook and write what is in the textbook on the wall and repeat it. Right? वो YouTube पे मिलता है, Coursera पे मिलता है, सब जगह पे मिलता है. वो टीचर का रिकॉर्डिंग ही लेके कॉलेज दे सकता है ना. टीचर का भी टाइम सेव कर लो. Make the teacher available for doubt solving and how to apply that concept in the real world. Attendance और अगर ऐसे ही रखना है तो I would say attendance compulsory मत करो. At least that was my problem with college. That I can do something else. I used to sit on the last bench and either send emails because I was working from second year onwards of college, or I used to sleep on the last bench so I can go home. Right? That's what my hack was around college. Instead, my college was like, तुम internship कर रहे हो, this is non-tech. We don't even approve it. I was like, it's fine. I will do it in my free time. Today, colleges are much better, at least from the interns that we hire. They're at least making internships compulsory. So that's a great thing, right? Great first move. But practical and updated. To be honest, practical हो सकता है, updated नहीं होगा. By the time ministry approves an updated syllabus, 3 साल और चले जाएंगे. Today, things move every 6 months. So that's why you need to learn online. That's your system. What type of message to drop on LinkedIn? Just hi, I am so and so. Don't give your bio data. I am, and not your name. उनको तुम्हारा नाम दिखता है. I am a aspiring marketer. Hi, I am Bhardwaj. I am an aspiring React developer or an aspiring marketer. I saw that you've been selected in the top 30 CMOs of the country, and I would love to learn from you as to how you got there. If you can spare 15 minutes for it, would be great, right? Something like that. Very crisp and simple. Investing has become a new trend for passive income today. What advice would you give for people in the early 20s about investing in the Indian stock market? Also attracting credible investors. You're planning a startup. Wow, okay. Long two sides to this question. How do you invest in the stock market? I am not an expert. Don't ask me. You will not be an expert. Don't rely on yourself. I would say the simplest way to start is play with some small amount of pocket money on the side, but invest more money into mutual funds to start with. And new age things like that. If you have heard of things like small case, where it's not exactly a mutual fund, but experts select different companies and portfolios and suggest it to you based on your risk appetite and so on, right? आपको 5 years पे focus करना है कि short term पे focus करना है and so on. So I would say use stuff like that. I've not used Zerodha, but I've heard Zerodha is great. Suggestions they think in mujhe pata nahi. But everyone thinks they're great at stock market after a year of playing with it. I don't think it's that simple, or maybe I have the wrong idea. So I would just go with following experts. Follow people like Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. क्या कर रहा है वो portfolio में अपने? फिर उसको कॉपी करो ना, उसका अपना लॉजिक बनाओ कि ये राइट है कि नहीं. If you don't agree, don't do it. But with what you agree, do it. Right? At least you have someone else validating what you're doing. Right, so that's the approach I would follow if I were doing it. I don't actively do it. I don't have the time and bandwidth, to be honest, and I don't make as much money as of today to invest in so many places. So I don't do it as of right now. But I understand startups a little bit more, so I look at that a little bit more. But not again the best approach. That's even more risky than the public market. If you want to attract investors, you need a great team first. You need a good, I would not say idea. Startups are not built on ideas. Startups are built on at least a proof of concept or an MVP. MVP is minimum viable product, at least a basic version of a product which shows that your idea works. At least 50 people paid money to buy this, right? So I would say a good team with a horrible looking product also works. But as long as 50 people paid money for it, then you have a good presentation and you show that, right? If you don't have a presentation also, it's fine. But have something and a validated idea. And honestly, it's simple to do. You don't need code websites today. Sab kuch ready milta hai online. You just need to be smart about it. And that's what investors want to see. Ki banda jugaad kar sakta hai ki nahi. Is he driven? Can you overcome challenges? Prove all of these things. Right? They don't care about your idea. 1,000 people are doing probably the same thing that Karan Ninja does. So they didn't pick the idea. They picked the person doing it, and they picked how that person's done it in the past. What tips would you give to the young budding entrepreneurs who are just entering the field, and what mistakes should they not make before their own startups? Work before making your own startup. I would at least 3-4 internships is not a full-time job. I would say definitely a full-time job. Work in an early stage startup, right? Max 50 people, so that you get real roles, real responsibility. You build a network, you get to know who the startup's investor is, what happens in a good time, what happens in a bad time, how do you deal with employees leaving, how do you deal with hiring. And I would say ideally, if you don't have ego, and if you really care about your goal, work as the assistant to the CEO or the assistant to the founder, right? Do whatever, just tail the guy and do everything that he needs, right? You get to learn straight from the guy. And if you're great and if you're smart, the guy will probably take you on, right? The 100+ company ka CEO nahi lega, but wo relevant bhi nahi hai. You need to know how to get a company from 0 people to 30 people first, right? If you could do that, you'll probably manage the rest. So I would say shadow an entrepreneur. If you want to know the best answer, work with an early stage startup is the nicer answer, but be the assistant of an entrepreneur or anything. I would say if you want to be a chief marketing officer, shadow the CMO, uska assistant ban jao. Aapke liye, 5,000 rupees mujhe de dena, so that my travel is covered, but I want to be an assistant. Do that for at least 6 months. You will learn more than 4 years of college. And I can give that to you in writing. Call me if it doesn't happen. How to start the startup? Same thing, good team, proof of concept. Again, just get one more thing, guys. Startup is not about a nice idea. Startup is about solving a problem which people really care to pay you money for. Right? No one cares about your idea. People care about their problems. Get rid of that problem, they will pay you. I am getting late to reach my meeting. How do you get there? I don't like using a cab. The normal Kali Pilis, it's too hot and I have to go find one, solve that problem. I need my house cleaned. I don't know who to call, solve that problem. I'm talking Uber. I just spoke Urban Clap. I am hungry. I need my food delivered to me, or I don't know where to order from. That's Zomato for you. These are real problems that people face every day, not once a week, not once in 50 days, not once a year. Right? That's how you make money. And that's why investors will come to you ultimately, right? So solve a real problem that people have. There's a new trend on LinkedIn nowadays. If you want job, you need experience. If you want experience, you need a job. How to break this loop? Internships. You don't get an internship. Again, it's about, as I said, right? Build skills, demonstrate skill. If you will email me now, if you want an internship, a lot of you may be thinking, "Nahin, chalo Career Ninja mein internship apply kar." Now, how do you get hired by Career Ninja? You email me that Shrawnit, I saw your website. This is what's wrong with your website. This is how I can fix it. Right? Okay, Shrawnit, I know you want more people to take up your courses. This is how I can help you get 50 new people. Give me a month of as a chance. Worst case, I'll do it for free. Give me 1 month. If you like it, this is what I would expect to get paid. Do you think it makes sense? Right? So don't optimize for experience, optimize for network, optimize for all of that, and get your experience that way. But you need to email saying, I can solve your problem. Everyone has problems. Logic same hai job ka, startup ka, sabka. You have a problem, I can solve it. This is how I will solve it, right? Don't just say I will solve it. Kaise bata to sahi mujhe? Why should I spend time talking to you? I have 50 applicants. So give me at least a teaser, right? One paragraph of how will you solve my problem and how have you done that in the past, right? If you've done a project, make your own project. You're not getting hired at Career Ninja, let's say, or let's forget Career Ninja, right? You're not getting hired at Zomato. Research on Zomato. Okay, what are the challenges Zomato is facing today, right? Maybe it's facing a challenge of how to enter Dubai as a market. Think of 5 ways that Zomato can do that. Make a presentation out of it and send it to them. If nothing, you will learn something new, right? That's your mini project for yourself. And that if you don't have work experience, that will at least show you have drive, right? I am more, as I said, most people are happy to hire people who have drive and ability. As long as you don't have past experience, these two are needed. What do you think about edtech startups in India? I think they're needed first. Honestly, education system is a big problem to solve. One company or 10 companies are not going to be able to do it. And बहुत बड़ा problem है यार. K-12 kindergarten से लेके test prep to which college to go to getting my education loans, to going abroad, to getting a job, to getting my second job, to interview preparation, बहुत सारे problems हैं. And these things don't even prep you for life, right? Life skills are like how to find my taxes, how to talk to people, how to have great relationships. No one teaches you these real things in life. These are the real things of life. So there's a YouTube channel called The School of Life, by the way, guys. You should follow it because बहुत सारा career के लिए कर रहे हो, अपनी life के लिए भी कर लो. Learn some real life skills. So I think they're really needed. First thing. Second is, I think they're trying to do almost similar things. They need to move, innovate to some extent. Right, is what I would say. And because सब लोग content बना रहे हैं, सब लोग courses बेच रहे हैं, courses content enough है, लोगों को pay नहीं करना है, right? I'm sure all of you all are learning things and all of you all are learning half of that from YouTube for free, right? How many of you all don't like to pay for learning and pay for content, right? Just put yes in the chat. I would like to see. Because at least when I went to college, I used to be like, Udemy course torrent से download कर देंगे, YouTube video देख लेंगे. तो content बहुत है यार. उसके beyond लोग क्या चाहिए? They want placement support, they want practical guidance, they want to work on projects. Experience part चाहिए, content नहीं चाहिए. So I think people need to start solving for that. At least that's what I may be biased. That's what we're trying to solve for. And the third thing is, and I wouldn't like to be necessarily quoted on this, but I'll again be honest. I think they need to be a little bit more, let's say, human or honest in their sales, right? Everyone's heard stuff about a couple of companies out there which are not the most honest in their sales approach. So I think that's what they should be. Not every kid who's 5 and who learns how to code is going to become Bill Gates. And they don't even need to know how to code at 5, to be honest. So anyway, your advice to face no support or demotivating factors around you. So I learned one thing when I was in ISEC. One of my leaders taught me. There's motivation and there's inspiration. Motivation is external, right? वो हर दिन जरूरत पड़ती है. If you require motivation, someone to tell you, your boss to motivate you, your teacher saying something, your mother saying something, or watching a motivating video, and so on. But inspiration is internal, right? I don't need someone to motivate me to give this talk or to come to work today, or had a bad day but to turn up in the morning next day, right? रोज मुझे कौन मोटिवेट करेगा? मेरे ऊपर कोई है ही नहीं, right? If there's an investor वो मुझे मोटिवेट नहीं करेगा, वो पूछेगा कि क्या रहा है तू, right? What the hell is happening? Do this also, right? They're not going to be like, oh wow, you're God, you did so much, right? So inspiration is what you need to focus on. You need to be inspired by your goal. You need to be inspired by your journey, right? I did this. I went from a kid who knew nothing to being able to do this. That means I can definitely do this, and I want to achieve my goal. That is it. बाकी मोटिवेशन के लिए फ्रेंड से बात कर लो, ex boss, whatever, someone at work, watch videos and so on. But I would suggest motivation is a nice add-on. You have to be inspired, and for that you have to have a goal that inspires you, and you have people that inspire you, right? You have to be like, I want to be like Elon Musk, and you really want to be like Elon Musk. Then only you can get even halfway there. बाकी demoting factors सबके लिए रहते हैं, whoever you are, to be honest. So it's more about how do you overcome them. So there's a question by Yash about exploration. I get confused. Yash, honest answer, explore 10-20 fields, narrow down to 3-5 fields, watch videos or do small courses about those fields, narrow down to 3 fields, and do internships. I don't know what year of college you are in, but do internships in all those 3 fields, right? I would say come down to 3. 3 is a sweet number, and figure out and ask yourself, what did you like about that? One is, I like being a software developer because I like, the idea of just being able to code things. But that means you may like being a product manager also, right? So, acha kya laga? So that's what you have to figure out for yourself. Dun asks, what would you like to give as feedback to budding engineers? What would I like to give as feedback to budding engineers? One is, as I said, take ownership about your learning. Second, make sure you explore, do courses, attend at least 5 to 10 networking sessions, right? Minimum number बोल रहा हूँ. 2 से 3 कोर्स करना, 2 से 3 इंटर्नशिप करना, 2 से 3 5 से 10 नेटवर्किंग सेशन अटेंड करो, be a part of your college committee. See, higher education में नहीं जाना है, मास्टर्स नहीं करना है, then your marks cease to be of importance beyond a point, right? Your marks will not be asked for after your first job, right? I don't look at people's marks today, and beyond a level in your CV भी marks नहीं लिखते, right? So focus on these skills, and have some fun. That's something I would tell my engineering self. बहुत काम किया मैं 2012 से आज तक बस 12 घंटे काम ही करता हूँ, to be honest. So that's what you got to do to get somewhere. But you got to also have some fun, which I did during ISEC days to some extent to balance it off. So that's something I would say. But most people are the opposite. My sister, for example, so I just sit on her right. You do all of that, but you got to do real work, right? So intern, network, and learn is what I would say. And be a part of college committees, right? At least. What else? Anyone else has questions? I'm going to put my contact details in the chat in the meanwhile. Was I helpful, guys? At least itna to bata do. Was I worth your 1 hour, 1 hour, 15 minutes?
Yes, sir, definitely. definitely. It was a great session, sir. And thank you for answering all those questions. And on a personal note as well, sir, when I felt I'll just share this feedback to you, serving as a host for this session. So the approach that you talked about, the pointers that you shared with us, I mean, they're truly, it actually works out in the practical world. Like often we feel that this guy is talking about this, but how would you reach that? And you even explain that process of reaching that product. So that was something really that actually I would have it as a takeaway from this talk. That yeah, this guy's told me something, some real pointers that how to network, how to come in, how to speak, and I mean how do you get to your goal? How do you decide? How you narrow down? So on that note, there was something that really I felt yes, this is something that I should realize and I should start working on it. And thank you so much for that. And I think the questions have ended. Maybe anyone else, anyone from our audience would want to ask any more questions to Shonit sir?
Sir mat bulao yaar. I'm just 28. I don't feel like I'm sir.
I think so.
So I'm
Okay,
glad,
I
but
think yeah, that
yeah, I'm glad this was helpful because it's ultimately about how to get there, right? Even I was in college, enough people came and gave gyan ki ye karna, wo karna, but karte kaise hain is important. Again, honest answer, you'll just search for it on Google and you'll find a lot of these answers. Enough people have done it before you. If I would, one thing, right? If you learn one thing in college, learn how to search, learn how to use Google. Sab kuch hai online, and only more things are coming. Right? Just learn how to search and solve your problems. That's it. If you learn problem solving using the internet, all your problems can be solved. You will find me and ask me whatever question you want. You will find my number somewhere. सब कुछ मिल सकता है. ठीक है? Awesome guys. Just two quick things. If any of you all want to be digital marketers, happy to sort of give some course access, roll out some discounts, especially because I enjoyed my time talking to all of you guys. I'm not sure logistics kya hai. Probably someone from my team will be in touch with you guys or so on. But yeah, that's one thing. We'll be adding more courses over the time. Happy to help you all learn. If you all have questions, reach out to me. I already put my email, LinkedIn, and Instagram over there. Email is best. LinkedIn message request मेरे को time लगता है.
sir, you're not audible, sir. You're visible, but you aren't audible.
Yeah, sorry guys, my net got
Yeah, yeah.
disconnected for a second. I was saying email is best to reach out to me. I'm the fastest on that. LinkedIn पे थोड़ा time लगता है. Instagram कभी active हूँ. That's one thing. Second is yeah, Karenage is always hiring interns, full-time employees, so on, so on. If you would love to work with us, we would love to have you there. Just let us know how you can help us, and someone from the team will be in touch. Right, happy to help you in person, achieving your goals. That's basically what we like to do here. So would love to hear from you all anytime today, in the future, whenever. Remember this, and as long as you're driven and you want to learn, we will be a good fit for you. Great.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you once again for having me here. Thanks, Yashodan, for sort of setting this up. and enjoy the rest of your weekend, everyone. Take care.
So yes, so before we end this session,
Yeah,
sir, I would
sure.
like to invite the vice chairperson of IEEE VIT student branch to present a vote.
Awesome, sure.
It is my extreme privilege to be presenting the vote of thanks at today's event. On behalf of our college, committee, and students, I would like to thank Mr. Shronit Ladhani for taking out time from his busy schedule and giving such an illuminating talk at IRIS 2021. It has been an immense honor to have had you with us today. I further extend my gratitude to our convener, Mrs. Ulka Padwarkar, and the teaching faculty for giving us this opportunity and motivating us to strive for success. An event like this cannot happen overnight. Months of preparation and hard work has gone into setting this up. We're very lucky to have a team of dedicated student volunteers who toiled to make this happen. We would like to specially thank our sponsors, Total Fitness and Sports, for supporting IRIS. Do check out their store for all your athletics and sports related needs. Last but not the least, we are grateful to the audience for sharing their valuable time with us. I hope you all enjoyed today's seminar and imbibed something new from it too. Thank you all, and I hope to see you again tomorrow for the final talk of IRIS 2021 by Mr. Yuvraj Valmiki. Do remember to fill the feedback forms as they enable us to keep providing you all with quality events like these. And I'd also like to add that the e-certificates would be distributed using the data filled in the form, so please fill it carefully. Thank you for joining us today and have a great day ahead. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.